Yngwie Malmsteen. You know him, you love him. A guitar player as arrogant as he is arrogant. But whatever your opinion of the man may be, there is no denying his guitar sound has always been on point for the kind of music he plays. And his rig is as classic as it gets. Fender Strat through an overdrive pedal into a Marshall Plexi. No nonsense, but extremely effective. And what I have here is not just an MXR pedal, it is the third iteration of the Yngwie Malmsteen signature overdrive pedal. Originally a collaboration with DoD in the form of the YJM 308 overdrive, he eventually moved on to Fender in 2011 to create the same pedal with the same simple two-knob layout again, that one I actually own, and fast forward to today, we have the MXR Yngwie Malmsteen overdrive. Once again with the exact same layout, and this time even with a near-identical design, only a bit smaller. Had you switched out the Fender YJM pedal on my board for this one without telling me, it likely would have taken a while for me to notice. But we aren't here today to judge MXR's lack of unique design skills, or Yngwie's unwillingness to change anything but the vocalist of his band, but instead, whether or not the MXR Yngwie drive is worth the price tag of $130. This pedal was sent out to me by Sweetwater, and this video has been paid for because it takes time to make, but the great thing about being sponsored by Sweetwater is they let me do and say whatever the fuck I want. So take this review with your preferred serving of salt grains, I really don't care. Those who are here for the right reason know I'm not bullshitting them. Thank you Sweetwater for making this video possible, affiliate links in the description. So, back a few years ago, I purchased the Fender YJM drive used on eBay for pretty much exactly 100% markup. According to ChatGPT, the list price for a brand new one in 2011 was $179. I paid around $350, and I realized that was a monumentally stupid thing to do, but I never regretted it one bit, because this thing has been my main go-to overdrive pedal ever since. It just sounds really good. So I was genuinely interested to see if there's even any difference between it and the MXR version, and there definitely is. In stupid non-musical terms, I would describe the MXR as having a bit more bite to it or being a bit hotter, which would translate into it delivering more gain and treble with the knobs in exactly the same positions as the Fender counterpart. This doesn't mean you can't get the two to sound near identical though, you just need to turn down the MXR relative to the Fender. But obviously this means that overall, this thing has more distortion and treble to it, which is fantastic for leads, perhaps not so great for rhythm. And I know I shouldn't spend all this time comparing it to a pedal you can't buy brand new anymore, it's just literally the best benchmark I have, since this is what Yngwie himself has been using for over a decade now. Something I've always liked about the Yngwie pedal is that it delivers a certain plexi-ish characteristic that makes even something like a PB Invective, an amp which couldn't be much farther from a Marshall Plexi, resemble it in some way. And this can be fun to tune a lot lower with, and pretend you're Meshuggah in their prime using hot-rodded Plexis with a ton of overdrive. So, is this worth it? Because at $130, while there are much more expensive overdrives on the market, it is not cheap. It's $30 more than a TS9 Tube Screamer, $50 more than a Boss Blues driver, and nearly twice the price of Behringer's shameless Centaur publicity stunt. There is obviously some markup here to allow MXR to pay royalties to Yngwie for every unit sold, as is always the case with signature gear. But the reason I originally spent all that money on the used Fender overdrive was because I'd never heard anything quite like it. So if I'd had the opportunity to buy this brand new for $130 instead of spending 2.5 times as much on a used pedal without a box, I would have been ecstatic and obviously done that instead. And so, as critical as I've been known to be of the fat, sweaty Swedish donut man, this thing more than gets the stamp of approval. And while this doesn't mean I'm willing to take my beloved Fender drive off my board, I figured I'd double down and just give this one the slot just to the left of it. There are Sweetwater affiliate links in the description and the pinned comment if you'd like your own MXR Yngwie overdrive, if you'd like to shop the gear I use for these videos every single day, or if you just want to do your own gear shopping independent from any of that. And if you get your last minute Sweetwater Christmas purchases in now, you can still make the Christmas episode of my Roasting Your Gear Purchases series. Thanks to Sweetwater for making the video possible, thanks to you for watching, and always remember,
you beast of fucking fury! See you in Tokyo, bitch!